Hi, it's Jeremy Katz from Ogilvy Do. I'm here with Alex McDowell. Alex is a professor of practice at USC. He's also the founder and creative director of 5D. Alex gave an inspiring talk just now. He's come off stage to tell us about how storytelling is changing in a profoundly digital world and its implications not just in film, where he's done a lot of work, but also in architecture and in the environment as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Alex, one of the projects that you talked about today involved a very, very circular world. In fact, you showed us a slide about the transition from a linear kind of storytelling to a circular kind of storytelling. Would you mind explaining for our audience what that means?
So for centuries now, we have framed everything we know about story within the idea that a single author is going to dictate the framework of the narrative, whether it's a theater proscenium, whether it's a film screen or a photograph or the frame of a painting, or indeed a piece of architecture, though that looks like three-dimensional space, but still is a single architect, the sort of starchitect, dictating the narrative, even if it's three-dimensional. And again, the same with game. You may think about game as a sort of free space for the characters, for the participants, but it's a highly mediated, highly directed narrative within that game space. The huge disruption, I believe, which I don't think has been fully acknowledged because I think the focus has been so much on the hardware, is that virtual reality in particular right now, because people can get their hands on it, and very quickly behind it, augmented reality as an immersive space, changes the conditions of the story space.
One of the cases that you showed was of a VR full immersion project involving the ocean. That seems to be somewhat theatrical and somewhat film-like. Can you explain what that project is about and why it's important?
So this is a project called The Future of the Ocean. It was instigated by an amazing oceanographer called Dr. Sylvia Earle, who has spent decades, at the bottom of the ocean, with the kind of knowledge she has and her ability to go actually down to depths that most of us can't reach in submersibles, and to understand what's really happening in the ocean and how fragile and how close to a tipping point the ocean is. So the challenge was, how do we sort of use storytelling and in this very multi-dimensional way, how do we use storytelling to allow the audience to enter a space that they cannot normally enter? And how do we develop new kinds of narratives that are still very entertaining, but are deeply informed by reality?
Thank you very much for your time, Alex. It's been great to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.